Hey guys, welcome to Jack's Beautiful You. Today's video, I'm super excited because we're going to be talking about one of my favorite categories for springtime. That is florals. These are my favorite springtime floral perfumes. Now, these are not my favorite floral perfumes in my collection, just the ones I'm looking forward to wearing the most for springtime. There's white florals in here, there's some purple florals in here. What is not in here is rose. I purposely left out my rose fragrances because I'm going to do a separate video on rose fragrances for the spring, so stay tuned for that. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jackie. Thank you so much for clicking on my thumbnail today. On this channel, we mostly talk about perfumes. Thank you so much for being here. If you do like this video and you find it helpful, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And without further ado, let's get into this video. There is something about springtime that brings out the really girly feminine side of me, the one that just wants to smell super pretty, like a princess, fairy tale, whimsical, soft. Yeah, those types of floral types of scents. I love fruity, I love sweet, and I love floral fragrances. And these are just the ones that I'm so in the mood for right now because it's getting warm here. I live in South Carolina. The birds are chirping. The flowers are blooming. It is gorgeous in South Carolina in the spring. And this is one of my most favorite times of year. For my super girly feminine self, when I'm in the mood for that, this fragrance by Argos, this is Parfum. This is such a feminine, sweet, vanilla and floral scent. This has a lot of vanilla in it, but it is not thick, dense vanilla that you'd have to wear in fall, winter. This is still light enough and floral enough that you can wear this definitely in the spring. That's exactly when I would want to wear this fragrance the most. I've told you guys how much I love the Argos bottles, but this one is my favorite. I don't know why. There's just something so elegant looking about this bottle. There are a lot of notes in this fragrance. The opening has a lot of citruses. There's lemon, there's bergamot, and then there's some ginger in here as well. That gives it just a little bit of a fresh, spicy feel to the opening with a citrusy kick. And then there's orange blossom. There's lots and lots of florals in here. There's orange blossom, there's iris, there's lavender, there's jasmine, there's lily of the valley, and rose. The heart of this fragrance is a floral bouquet of spring happiness and goodness. But the dry down is vanilla and tonka bean for me. Lots of vanilla, but again, not thick, not like a cupcakey vanilla, not a gourmand vanilla, but a sweet, sophisticated vanilla tonka bean. There's musk, there's amber, there's ylang ylang, and sandalwood. The musk in here helps to kind of lift it a little bit so that it's not too thick and too dense. So yeah, this is absolutely elegant, sophisticated, classy, feminine. I cannot recommend it enough. I get really decent performance. It's not a super loud fragrance that fills up a room. This is not a screamer perfume, but I can smell it on me for most of the day and I get a nice scent bubble. So that is by the House of Argos, Parfum. All right, this next one I have not worn in a while, and I pulled this one out and sprayed it the other day, and I thought, why have I not worn this in so long? This is definitely a spring perfume for me. This is by Chanel. This is Gabrielle Essence. This is absolutely beautiful, and I don't know why I haven't worn this since, well, I haven't worn it since last spring. I forgot how absolutely gorgeous this fragrance is. So this is very classy, very feminine, very sophisticated smelling, but it's not like the other Chanels. If you're not a big fan of Chanel, if you don't like the Chanel DNA, the Chanel patchouli, this doesn't have that in here, but it does have that regal, classy, sophisticated smell to it without the patchouli, if that makes sense. So if you're not a big fan of Chanel, still check this one out anyway. There's lots of fruits in the opening. You have citruses, peach, red fruits, black currant, but more than that, I get the florals in here. There's definitely white florals in here, definitely tuberose, but nothing is too much. It's not heady white florals. It's not indolic white florals. It's just very pleasant springtime smelling florals. There's some ylang ylang, some jasmine, orange blossom. There's a little bit of coconut in here. That ylang ylang and coconut gives it the slightest touch of like a tropical feel to the fragrance that I really love. And then there's musk, vanilla, and sandalwood in the base. Definitely a musky, feminine, girly, but not girly as in childish or little girl. This is definitely a more grown up springtime, sophisticated floral scent. It has decent performance from what I remember. It's been, like I said, it's been since last spring since I've worn this. I don't remember struggling with the performance on this one, but I don't remember it being super strong either. I think it's just moderate all around. Again, that's kind of what I look for in the spring. When the weather starts to get warm, I don't want super strong, thick, dense fragrances, so this is perfect for me. So this is by Chanel Gabrielle Essence. All right, this next one is one I love to wear in the springtime, but I have to wear it before it starts to get too hot because it is very, very sweet. It has a lot of white florals in it, but it also has sweetness and marshmallow in it as well. This is by Killian, and this is Love Don't Be Shy, the extreme version. The extreme version is my favorite. I do like the original Love Don't Be Shy, but the extreme version is my favorite because there's rose in here. But the florals, there's neroli and bergamot in the opening, and then you have a lot of orange blossom, and then there's also rose as well. But the orange blossom is still the star of the show in here, but I feel like that rose really helps to elevate this fragrance. It makes it a little bit more grown up and sophisticated from the original. I do really like the original though, but yeah, I just love the added rose in this version. This does feel stronger to me than the original as well. I had a decant of the original and I compared these two side by side, and this one did last longer than the OG. This has marshmallow and vanilla in the base, so again, I cannot wear this when it gets too hot. So springtime is the time when it's not necessarily beating down hot like it gets here in South Carolina in the summer. There's musk and pomegranate in here as well. So if you like the idea of a floral, like a fruity floral gourmand type of fragrance, this is definitely one to check out. I absolutely adore it. So this is by Killian, Love Don't Be Shy Extreme. All right, let's talk about an iris perfume that knocked my socks off. And I was not expecting to be blown away by this perfume. I smelled this while sniffing around at Macy's, just decided to check it out, and I couldn't believe how much I love this fragrance. This is by Lancome, and this is La Vie Belle Iris Absolue. This one is so freaking good. If you're not a fan of the original La Vie Belle, still get your nose on this one. This doesn't smell like the OG La Vie Belle. Not really. It does have a sweetness to it, but it's not anywhere near the sweetness and the intensity of the OG. This is soft. This is powdery, but I don't mean soft in performance because the performance on this is really good. But it's a soft, feminine, powdery iris scent. It's sweet, it's delicious, it's long-lasting, but it still smells sophisticated and elegant at the same time because of the iris. I'm just so blown away by this. I don't know why more people don't talk about this fragrance because it is so good. The flankers of La Vie Belle have really been getting me lately, and this one's my favorite. I think the bottle's beautiful, the juice inside is beautiful, the performance is good. If you like iris fragrances with some sweetness, definitely check this one out. It's not just iris though in here. There are other florals in here. There's orange blossom and jasmine along with the iris. And then there is some fig in the opening. There's blackcurrant and fig in the opening, which I find to be really interesting. I really like the fig, that fruity sweet feel in the opening mixed with all those beautiful florals. And then you have a gourmand accord in here, which I don't really know what that is. It's, I guess, giving it a touch of some sweetness. And there is some patchouli in here, but it's very toned down. It's not a super strong patchouli. It's not an earthy patchouli to me. It's a very warm, clean smelling patchouli that I think just helps to give the fragrance a little bit of balance and depth, and helps the performance of the fragrance as well. So don't be scared of the patchouli note if you don't like patchouli. This is absolutely beautiful, sophisticated, feminine, perfect for spring. So this is by Lancome La Vie Belle Iris Absolue. Okay, this next fragrance is a fragrance I haven't spoken about for quite some time on my channel, and I kind of forgot about it because when you have a ton of fragrances and you're testing new fragrances all the time, some fragrances get pushed in the background. But I remember loving this and I brought it back out to test it, retried it, and fell in love with it all over again. This is by Valentino, and this is Voce Viva Intensa. This fragrance doesn't get the love that it deserves. I think some people kind of pass this fragrance up because it's labeled as maybe a little basic, designer, boring, but there's something about this one that just smells so good. It's just a very easy to wear springtime white floral scent. It smells fantastic. I could see why people think this smells a little bit on the basic side, or maybe even on a little bit on the boring side. But honestly, there's no denying for me how good this smells and how just easy it is to wear. This is such a beautiful, citrusy, white floral scent. It smells high quality, it has good performance, and there's just something so easy and effortless and beautiful and pretty girl and springtime about this fragrance. Opening, you have mandarin orange and bergamot. Definitely get a citrusy feel in the opening. You have orange blossom and jasmine in the mid. Definitely get that white floral feel. But the white florals are done in such a way that they're not heady or indolic at all. It's just very pleasant, sweet white floral. And then you have bourbon vanilla in the base, which sweetens the fragrance up. There's moss in the base as well, which sometimes doesn't work out for me, but in here it's not super noticeable, and it gives it just a little bit of character and a little bit of depth to the fragrance. I really like the bottle. I think the bottle's really cool. I like the studs. And this is the intensive version. So the original I remember trying and thinking it was okay, but I wasn't overly impressed with it. But the intensive version is beautiful. Okay, this next one is not a new fragrance at all, but it is new to me. I just recently added this into my collection. I got it in February. I put it on my tray for March and I reached for it a ton, and I fell madly in love with this fragrance. This is by Parfums De Marley Safanad. What a gorgeous, beautiful fragrance this is. This is my favorite bottle, and this is such a good perfume. Why did I wait so long to buy this? This is spring in a bottle, definitely white florals. There's jasmine, I believe there's orange blossom in here, but it's got a sweetness to it that I really, really enjoy as well. I'm a big white floral fan. I love when there's sweetness and white florals mixed together. Is a really great combination in my opinion. So top notes, you have pear and orange, and then there's orange blossom, ylang ylang, and iris in here. So it's not just white florals. There's other florals in here as well, but there's also, I don't think the notes on Fragrantica are completely right, because I remember looking this up on the Parfums De Marley website. I was shocked there was no jasmine listed on Fragrantica, because I can smell it as plain as day. And so I went to the Parfums De Marley website, and there is jasmine in here for sure. So jasmine and orange blossom, 100%. And then the base, you have vanilla, amber, and sandalwood. It's very creamy and smooth in the dry down. It's beautiful. Now the performance of this is not absolutely amazing. It's just moderate. I do wish that this lasted longer. That's the only downfall to Safanad, is that I think I only got about 5 hours of wear out of this fragrance, and I really do wish that it lasted a little bit longer, but that's okay. I don't mind. I will respray this because I love the way it smells so much. It's very springtime, very feminine, very sophisticated, easy to wear type of fragrance, and I think it smells really, really good. This is by Parfums De Marley Safanad. Okay, this next one I am so happy to wear. I am so excited to wear. It's on my tray actually for this month, and I have been wearing it. I have been loving it. It is so, so good. It's brand new to my collection. This is by Giardini di Tuscana, and this is Celeste. I tried this one first before I got it, and I was shocked at how much I love it, because this is a violet scent. And I don't typically get along with violet, but in here, it is freaking gorgeous. So top notes, you have seawater and lime, which I think the seawater throws some people off. Some people say they get a harshness in the opening. I do not. I love the opening of this. I love the mid. I love the dry down. I love this fragrance from beginning to end. But just test this one. Test this one for yourself. This is not safe. There are people who absolutely adore this fragrance, and then there are people who genuinely despise this fragrance, and you need to test it for yourself because it's not going to work for everybody. In the mid, you have violet, and it just says exotic floral notes. Mostly I get violet, but the violet is candied violets to me. And then in the base, there's vanilla sugar and ambroxan. That vanilla sugar smells like a spun sugar to me. Absolute goodness. I love the base of this fragrance. It smells so good. I get really good performance out of this as well. This sucker lasts all day on me, and the wafts I get throughout the day are incredibly enjoyable. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. This is by Giardini di Tuscana, Celeste. Okay, now this next fragrance could have easily been put in my fruity video that I did recently, but I decided to put it in my floral fragrances because I do get a ton of white florals in this perfume, but this is a fruity, woody, white floral fragrance. This is by the House of BDK, and this is Pas Ce Soir. Now, this is another one that is controversial. It is polarizing, and it is not for everyone. Another one you absolutely need to test for yourself, because there are people who hate it, and there are people who love it, and I am loving this fragrance. I have loved it. Well, this was not a love at first sniff. I had a sample of this. I had a decant of this. And I remember the first time I sprayed it, I was like, what is that? I don't know. And it took me a little while. I had to go back to the fragrance a few times before I realized that I really enjoyed it. And now I just love this perfume. So top notes, you have ginger, mandarin orange, and black pepper. I was a little nervous about the black pepper. Sometimes black pepper doesn't work, but in here it just does. It just smells so good to me. Definitely get that fruitiness and the spiciness in the opening. There's quince in here, and I am a big fan of quince. I think quince is such a juicy, sweet, fruity, delicious note. I love it. Definitely get a lot of that juicy feel from the quince in here, which is why this would have been just perfectly acceptable in the fruity video as well. But as this perfume dries down, once you get past that spicy, fruity, juicy feel of the opening, as the perfume dries down, I really do pick up a lot of the florals. So in here you have jasmine and orange blossom. And the heart of this fragrance, when those white florals come out, they really come out quite a bit, but not in a indolic, heady kind of way. It's not heavy white floral. And then there's cashmerian, amberwood, and there's patchouli in here as well. This does get woody as well in the dry down. I get the patchouli, I get the woody. It is a special fragrance in my opinion. I know a lot of people complain about the performance of this fragrance, so if you're interested in this, I think there's an Extrait version out that I think would be better for you if you're wanting something that's stronger than this. But I have never struggled with the performance of this fragrance. I don't know why, I just don't. I get really decent performance out of this. I mean, it's not a screamer that fills up a room, but I get at least 6-7 hours out of this fragrance, and I can smell it on me, on my clothes. I get wafts of it throughout the day. I really don't have issues. I don't struggle to smell this on me. So I think it's beautiful, and I love the white florals in this fragrance. So this is by the House of BDK Pasaswar. Okay, this next one is new to my collection, and this fragrance blew my mind. This fragrance was a love at first sniff, eyes rolling in the back of my head. Wow, I'm so impressed with this fragrance type of perfume. This is by the House of Tomovici, and this is Zenobia. Now, when I first got this fragrance, I thought that this was going to be a fall winter scent, but I think I'm wrong, because the more I wear this, the more I test it, the more I play with it, the more the white florals in here really stand out to me. And I feel like this is, yes, this is a white floral fragrance with a dark base, but this is springtime. This has a lot of stuff in it that reminds me of spring, and this makes me feel like springtime date night. No, I don't necessarily know that I would wear this in the middle of the day in the spring, but this is sexy date night spring in a bottle. Yes, this is what I would want to wear right now to go out on a date with my husband. It still has the floral touches to it to give you spring, but yeah, it does have a sexy depth to the fragrance for sure. So the florals that are in this fragrance are orange blossom, there's orchid, jasmine, and Turkish rose in here. I definitely pick up this very smooth white floral feel to the fragrance, and I get a hint of rose in here as well. I think this is such a smooth perfume. It is so smooth. Oh my gosh, that's the first thing I thought of when I smelled this is just incredibly smooth. Everything in here, there are no sharp edges anywhere. The quality of this fragrance is extremely evident to my nose. It's so, so good. There's black currant in here as well, so there's a little bit of a sweet fruiting touch to it, but I guess I don't think I would have known that there was black currant in here, to be honest. But now that I see it in the notes, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And then there's vanilla in here. Definitely get a sweet vanillic feel to this fragrance. Lots of amber. It is very warm. There's saffron. Definitely saffron, leather, oud, and cedarwood. And the base is, it sounds scary. The base sounds scary. Saffron, oud, leather. that can be scary. Cedarwood can be scary for some people, but make no mistake, this is a feminine scent in my opinion. This smells super feminine, super classy, and the base is so smooth. I mean, can I tell that there's oud in here? Yes, but it's not a barnyard skanky oud. There's leather in here, but it's so smooth that it won't bother you. It's not a hard, cold, sharp, pressing your face in someone's leather jacket kind of leather. This is a smooth, suedey kind of leather. The base of this fragrance reminds me a lot of La Capitale. Now, please understand, I'm not saying that this perfume smells like La Capitale. They are very different. La Capitale is lots of strawberry, caramel, it's fruity. It's not as floral as this one. Yeah, it's completely different. But the bases with that leather and oud base, they smell similar. But this one's even smoother than La Capitale. So if you like La Capitale, I think you would like this one. So that is by Tomovici Zenobia. All right, last but definitely not least, this last fragrance is for my peony fans. If you love the note of peony, if you love pink, girly, florally scents, this is for you. This is by Carolina Herrera, and this is Good Girl Blush. This perfume is so fun. It reminds me of brunch or a girl's trip, a girl's day out, when you're gonna have mimosas and have brunch with your friends in the spring. That's what this reminds me of. It is just absolutely perfect for that type of occasion. It's not super serious, but it is such a pretty girl scent. So opening, you have bergamot and almond. And then in the mid, you have peony and ylang-ylang. I definitely get the peony in here, and it is just so pleasant. It's such a sweet, pink, girly, floral note that I really enjoy. Yes, lots and lots of peony. I definitely get the citruses in the opening. There's vanilla in the base, and there's coumarin in here. I'm kind of surprised. I thought that musk would be in here. It kind of gives me a musky feel, like an airy feel to the fragrance, but there's no musk listed in the notes. It's not thick, it's vanillic. I definitely get a sweet vanilla in here, but I don't pick up a overly thick, dense vanilla. This perfume has gotten strong. This has gotten really strong. When I first got it, I got it last spring. When I first got it, it was only moderate performance, but I've been wearing this again recently, and it lasts all day. And I actually oversprayed it because I thought that it wasn't that great of a performing fragrance. So when the first time I took this out after not wearing it for a little while, I sprayed myself down. Oh my gosh, I choked myself out. It was too much. So this one does definitely get stronger with time. And yeah, it has no performance issues for me at all whatsoever. So beautiful. It's probably because there's so much vanilla in the base, and vanilla does age well and get stronger with time. So anyway, this one's absolutely gorgeous and super fun. That is by Carolina Herrera, Good Girl Blush. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Those are my favorite floral fragrances, the ones that I'm the most excited to wear for the springtime. And I want to hear from you. Have you tried any of these? Do you like them? Do you love them? Do you hate them? What are your thoughts and opinions? Thank you so much for watching. If you did find this video helpful, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope everybody is having an amazing day, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye!